Hello. So, I wanted to do a little bit of discussion, and this is Elliot from Gigs Online. And today I wanted to talk about, how to really find things to retail arbitrage on. And I want to just do a quick check just to check out YouTube because I believe I'm streaming, but I'm not 100% sure. So let me just check it out real quick. We are listening to some really great music. I'll pull that up right now. So uh, it is a nice thing that I found. Let's check this out real quick. No, it's not right. Okay, I'm hearing stuff, so I'm good. Okay, so we are listening to, Christmas lo-fi, and this is hip hop related mix from Babbage Rum. You want to check it out? I will have a link in the description for this. Let me just. I don't even know how I can do this right now, but it's okay. I'll do it later. Okay, so one thing that I see a lot at a lot of like thrift stores is really a bunch of ties. And you go, well, why would we start with ties? I think when you look at ties, they're clothing, just like shirts, just like shoes. And the one thing that is very true with clothes when you're trying to do retail arbitrage, especially on eBay, is this idea that you have brands that people love, and you should keep an eye out for those brands, because chances are if you buy those brands at a discounted price, you can arbitrage and make a profit. That whole classic idea of, buying low, selling high. That's really retail arbitrage in a nutshell. So if we go to eBay and we just look for men's ties. So as you can see, tons of ties, almost 100,000 ties. Now, when we look at, and I don't know what this window is, but just keep in mind that this is over some time. Maybe it's the last 3 months, maybe it's the last year. If someone knows, please drop a note in the chat to let me know. But the one thing I love to do is see, so first thing is, let's go, item, or we should say brand, right? Let's say brand, and then we want to say how many are total items or total listings, because this is eBay, and then we want to see sold listings, right? So we'll say all, right? Brand is all. And for this case, we'll say 92,000, right? 92,000. And let's see how many sold. So if I go to sold, so over the same period, we're saying 41, right? So if we say, what is the percentage, right? Yep. So like 44%. And let me clean this number up a little bit. So 44, right? I guess, hold on, let me see if I can make this a little bit pretty. Format number, let's say percentage. So, yep, 44%. So just under half are sold. When you look at all these ties that are listed over the same period, and I do believe that the windows are the same for looking at, what's like when you look at all versus sold, I do believe that they are the same. So when you're looking for a brand, I think you can just look at this history of things that sold. Now, if you look at this right here, I see Franco Bassi, right? So it looks like it's a wool silk tie, and it's made in Italy. So that gives me the idea that chances are that this is a brand that people do like. So now what I can do is just, I'm gonna go here and just grab this. So it said it ended. Can I actually see the results? There we go. I just had to come down a little bit. Here we go. So we look at getting that, and I'll go back, right? So the first thing I want to do is just search for Franco Bassi ties, right? So that's interesting. We have 33 sold. So let's do this. I'm gonna pull this over a little bit. And then we see only 33 are sold. And I can pull this down because the formula will be the same. Oh, divide by zero. Why is it divide by zero? Oh, because there's nothing there. Yes, that is divide by zero. Okay, so now if we go back here and say, you know, nope, let's not look at sold. Let's not look at completed. Oh, did that uncheck? Okay, so 107. So, what is this telling us? It's telling us that it's not a lot of Franco Bassi ties out. The other thing that it's showing is that 30% of the ties, like when we look at total listings versus sold listings, you know, these may not be apples to apples comparisons, but it is telling you some data. It's telling you that for this brand of Franco Bassi, that the number of listings versus the number of listings that are sold, just the total number versus the total number sold, this does trend under. So it's saying like Franco Bassi for these two things, 33% of the time we can just say a Franco Bassi tie sold based on all of the listings that's put on eBay. And then when we see the other brand, we actually see, like all brands, we see that it's around 44%. So if I see Franco Bassi out there, I'm probably not going to pick that up. And that's just due to the fact that it doesn't feel like it sells as well. It feels like I have to be extra lucky, or I got to have something very, very rare for it to move. So I'm going to move to the next one. So if we go back, we don't like that. So let's scroll through to see if we, you know, find some other stuff. All right, so we're still looking. How many times do I have to click back? Oh, I know why. Because I did some filtering and all this stuff. I probably should open up in a new window. I'll do that next time. Okay, so if we look at, so Steve Harris, let me try to find one. Let's do this. Instead of ended recently, let's look at the highest priced ties. So that's a crazy tie. I don't think I'm going to be finding any of that. Wow, that's crazy. But if we want to look at the highest priced ties, let's go look at sold. Need to look at sold again. Oh, these are sold ties. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Let's try to come down to something that's a little bit more reasonable. Let's get these outliers out. $50 ties. Let's look at this. Max of $50, I should say. I like this one. This is Ralph Lauren, right? Now, let's go with I'll go with Charles Wilson. I want to do this for a reason. So if we look at Charles Wilson, I need to go grab this title. Sorry, I was just looking for some stuff, but let's look at this. Charles Wilson. And then what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to say Charles Wilson silk tie, because I don't really know. That's not a good one. Let me just try Charles Wilson tie. No, this is not a good brand to look at. This is that's the problem. Okay, let's see. Let's try this. Let's see, how many Mulberry silk ties do we have? Ralph Lauren. Let me just go with Ralph Lauren silk tie, or Ralph Lauren silk tie. Is that a lot? Yes. This is perfect. Okay, so these are the sold listings, I believe. No, these are just all listings. Okay, so we have Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren. I mean, this is just really Polo, but I want to do Polo Ralph Lauren to be a little bit more descriptive. If we go with sold, right? Oh, I forgot. Did I capture the number? I did not. Hold on. So this one was 42, right? So this is 4,200. And then this one, when we look at sold, right? This is 1,800. Let's pull this down. Ooh, look at this. So this is selling around the average, right? It's a little bit less than all, but when you see a Ralph Lauren polo tie, chances are that it'll sell around 40% of the time. I know the windows may be different for total listings versus sold listings, but I think this is directional to say this is a tie that you can probably look at and go, okay, cool. Now, I will also say that you may want to like look at specific colors. So let's kind of dive into that a little bit. So I'm just going to say, you know, red ties. Let's just look at red ties. So, okay, let's do this. So we're gonna bring this down, right? And then we look at red ties, right? So we say red silk. Did I say red silk? I said silk red. Okay, all right. Let's just keep it honest so you can do these searches on your own. So this is 475, right? 475. And then if we look at all listings, right? No completed. What do we got? 1,300. 1,300. Okay, so what is this telling us? This is saying that red ties sell less than the average, because it's at 36%, based on kind of the two metrics we're looking. This isn't the tie that I would want to go after. Now, one thing I would want to do is say, well, let me try blue tie. Or, yeah, let's try blue tie. I'm going to do a couple, but let's look at blue tie, right? So this is blue ties. I think this is all, right? This is all listings. Yes, this is all listings. So now what I want to do is I want to pull this down and I want to say blue, right? So if I say blue, that is 1,500. That's 1,500 for all. So it's actually a little bit more blue ties being listed than red ties. Interesting. So actually, let's check this out. Let's see what actually sold, right? Interesting. 685. 685. So let's pull this down and see what happens. Interesting. It's a slightly above the average. So this is something that I would want to look at, because this feels to me that blue Ralph Lauren silk ties sells better than everything listed on eBay with respect to ties. And I think I probably should do this, because just so you can go back and walk through this research yourself. And I don't know if I changed the name of this. I think, yeah, I didn't change the name, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. We're gonna keep rolling. I'll figure this out in post. Okay, so let's look at black ties. Let's see if we see any interesting data. So if we pull this down, right? Say black ties, and the number was 177. 177, and let's look at all listings. 397. That's interesting. 397. Interesting. That's actually not too bad. That's very close to the average. So these ties are selling average. So what you can do is just keep oscillating through until you find something that works. So we'll try white. Let's see if we hit gold here. The other thing is that I think, based on kind of what's out in the wild, white ties are very rare. I mean, black ties are very rare. So this is all of the white ties, right? And I should say these are all ties with white in it, which is interesting. So say white. This is all, so that's 384. Slightly less than black. 384. And let's look at what's sold. $141. Okay, so white ties. Anything with white in it, I don't know. It doesn't look like it sells as well. Black and blue to me looks like winners right now, based on kind of what I know now. So I'll just kind of mark these as kind of green. These would be the ones that I look at. So if I'm out and I'm trying to find stuff, I would want to think about it that way. And I don't know if I can change. Hold on 1 second. Can I change my title? My stream. I guess not now. Oh well. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's continue. I want to see how much time do we have? Okay, we're getting about halfway there. So that was cool. So blue and black ties, found that like that. Okay, so let's go back here. Back to our men's ties, right? Vintage. Pocket square. I guess that's a tie. Versace. Let's go with Versace. Let's check this out. I don't know how much Versace we're going to be able to run out or get in the world, but let's just check it out. So let's go with Versace tie, right? So if I say, let me just copy this. We look at Versace tie, and it looks like, I think this is all. Yes, this is all. So it's 4,200, right? So 4,200. So just as many silk ties, Ralph Lauren silk ties. Versace has just as many ties that are listed on eBay, which is pretty impressive. So let's look at sold. And I'm hoping the data will show me what I want to show, but maybe not. Okay, all right. So as you can see, Versace doesn't sell very well on eBay based on kind of how we're looking at it. So I would kind of avoid Versace ties. You may go, oh, well, Elliot, oh, that's kind of crazy. This is just Versace ties in general. That's kind of how I would look at it. Now, let's dig into the data a little bit. Let's see if we can look at a silk tie. Maybe a silk tie is a little bit different. So silk tie, I think these are sold. Yeah, I can see sold right there. So silk tie. $830. All right, let's look at all listings. 3,900. That's actually going to be about the same. Yeah. So for me, I would avoid Versace ties in a while. If you're trying to look to source this on eBay, or source items to sell on eBay. So I know this is just kind of really, really generic, but I think if you're trying to find items that do move on eBay, this is one method. And, you know, I just randomly pick ties because ties are everywhere. No matter where you go, you know, it's just all over the place. You know, you go to a thrift store and it's tons of ties there. So that's, you know, what I wanted to talk about. This is one of many sessions that I plan to have. And I will link this spreadsheet. I will go ahead and link the spreadsheet in the notes or the description. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.